Welcome to the show vlog. Here we are off, and here we are suddenly on the showground. And I tagged him up myself when we got to the show because I felt like that was something to do to just calm my nerves in a way. I got a very good help from Anna Birte, my bestie. So she took over when I had to step into my show clothes for the first time. Here I am showing off, a little bit stressed, but my first time in my show clothes, and I felt actually really nice. I forgot my belt, which I kicked myself in the head by now. And then it was off to the warm up, and Kirsten was a little bit late, so I was extremely nervous, but I walked him a little bit outside before we got into the warm up with a lot of other horses. He became very, very strong at this point. And Kirsten was still a little bit late. She was supposed to help me in the warm up. She came later on, which was calmed my nerves a lot, but he was very strong in the warm up, and that is when I got my nerves. But here I have Kirsten with me, and I am actually trying to get him on a circle to try and do some cantering. As you all know, Rauen isn't that strong in canter, and we actually need canter for this dressage test, but we entered anyway because at some point I need to be out in the show ring and he needs to be used to whatever happens with him or around him when it comes to a showground. And it was a little bit chaotic in the warm-up, but lucky for me, there was just nice people in here. I said sorry to them a lot of times, but here he is in canter. I got a little circle, and then he got very strong, so I had to use everything in my body to just keep him down in trot again so he didn't run off with me. And I was so proud in this moment. And having Kirsten on my one ear actually as a support was very calming for me as well. She's a wonderful trainer, and she's so motivating, and she's like, yes, you can do it. I know you can do it. Here you can see once again he's in canter, but he broke it because he got too strong and I pulled back a little bit too much, but that's my fault. We are both in learning process with that canter to get him to canter. And here I am off into the ring, and I got the biggest cheer team ever walking with me. I'm so thankful. So yeah, and when we got into the arena, he was like, what the heck is going on here, because there were music, and he was like, oh, there are people in that area, I don't want to go there, why are they standing there? And then we went over, and then he's like, there is plants on the ladders, I don't like that. So I was really working on keeping him within the rail, because he was also a little bit skeptical on the rail, like if when he touched it and stuff. And then these two houses where the judges were in, he was like, what the heck are these houses doing here? So I had to walk past them so he could just look at them and see that there was nothing popping out of them and scare him. Then he refused to walk in the corner because he saw people on the side where Anne Birte is filming. I had my shear squad on that end, and I also had a shear squad down in the corner at the other end where I also had Kirsten, who supported me. I haven't started here yet because he got some time to get used to the surroundings while the judges were writing the scores for the rider that was in front of us or before us. So I'm just minding my own business, and here Kirsten is giving me some last instructions before the bell went off. And I think it went off like when I did this, it went off, and I was like, oh my god, I have to turn. And I was like, no, we are going straight. And I was like, no, we're going to turn. So at this point, I'm actually on my way to start my first dressage test, which is here. So now I'm gonna shut up and you can watch the test. finished. We made the whole test without any wrong writing. So the only thing that was wrong in this test was that he didn't we didn't canter as much as we were supposed to, because canter isn't his strongest side inside arena now, and I need to work through some stuff to get into a good canter. But he did really well. We got 47.200. You need 50 for a verified test, but that was just because the canter. If we did canter, we would have above 50%. So yeah, here I'm just finished. So proud of him. This was our very first dressage test and our very first show ever. So I'm so proud of this horse, and I'm so proud of what we did, and I can't wait to show him more, because he's such a good sport. Even though he gets strong, he's just such a good sport. Thank you to my wonderful cheer team, Hanne, Stine, Sandra, who drove me, Kirsten, who had my back with the warm-up, Ann-Christine, Ingrid, who lets me lend her horse, Susanne, who owns Rauen and lets Ingrid and I lend him, and then Anne-Birte on the side here, who filmed me and was also emotional support this day. Everyone just were so wonderful, and for the Team Rauen, this was just amazing. I started to cry after the test.